guys? I'm trying a new little camera system here so you guys can see me actually driving. So we'll see how it works. But I had a guy comment on my Rev Matching video the other day, and he was cool. He just had some questions. The only thing was, I thought I had answered the questions in the video, but I guess there was some speculation of sorts. But he was asking, what are the true advantages of Rev Matching? Well, one of the biggest advantages is when you're in gear and you're off the gas, the Rev Match of you downshifting is actually helping you slow down because the engine is decelling the car. So while the engine is helping you slow down and you're using the brakes, you've actually got two systems of braking basically. The engine, no, it's probably loud. The engine is using the power wheels, which, you know, if you have front-wheel drive car, it would be the front wheels, which to me is the rear. The engine is using the power wheels to decel the car since you're in lower gear and you're not on the gas. And then you're also using the brakes. Well, that gives your brakes longer lifetime in just daily driving. In racing, when you're doing road racing courses and everything, that also helps you it helps not get brake fade. It helps your brakes stay strong for a longer amount of time. Because if you put all of the workload on the brakes, you're gonna wear them out quicker. They're gonna fade out. They're gonna heat up, and you're not gonna be able to utilize the braking system very much after that point, because then you're gonna have to wait for them to cool down and wait for your braking strength to come back. But since you're rev matching, you're taking a lot of that pressure off of the brakes. You know, I mean, it's not. You can't trust the engine to stop your car. I'm not saying that. You can't do that. You can't trust your engine to go from 75 to 20 with just off the engine and transmission. That's gonna really put a lot of load on your drive line. The thing is, using both of them, you take a lot of pressure off the brakes. So that's one reason. Another thing is he asked was, you know, why can't I just go from 5th or 4th into neutral, and then whenever I get to the stoplight or the light turns green or I'm ready to go out of the turn or whatever, just go into the next gear? Well, you know, like I said in the video, doing the rev match downshift, that you have no question of what gear you need to be in because you're already there. Once you're ready to get on the gas, all you gotta do is hit the gas. You don't have to think, okay, what speed am I doing? Oh, okay, I'm doing 20 miles an hour, so let's go for, you know, 2nd or 3rd gear, probably 2nd, you know. You don't have to even worry about that. You don't even have to look at your speed. You just have to go. And that's the awesome thing about Rev Match downshifts, that it takes care of all that for you. And then, you know, so you're going and light's already red when you come up to it, and you're downshifting, and all of a sudden light turns green. Oh, guess what? You can keep going, and all you have to do is hit the gas. You don't have to go from neutral and figure out what gear to be in, and then, you know, get too tall of a gear and lug down the car, or get too high of a gear and, you know, whatever. It's already done. And then, for racing purposes, when you're coming up to a turn, and you're going from 120 to, you know, 40, 50, whatever the speed may be, there's different degrees of turns. You don't have to be like, oh, well, I'm in neutral now, and now I'm about to hit the apex, so I need a gear so I can hit power. Well, at that point, you have to put in the clutch. You have to get in the gear. Then you have to get out of the clutch and go. Well, you know, I know that everybody watching this video is not going to be racing, but in a racing environment, utilizing the clutch in that particular way because you're taking power off, you're putting power on, you're taking power off, you're putting power on. And if you don't get it right, you let the clutch out too harshly, you're going to get sideways or something that's going to screw up your run. And those few seconds are very, very crucial when it comes to racing. And it can also tear up your car. Whenever you downshift rev match, yeah, you're using the clutch to downshift, but if you do it smoothly with practice, it's not going to tear anything up. Another thing is, talking about tearing stuff up, say right now I'm doing 40, and I want to slow down to 30 or 20, and I do so, and I just go into neutral, and then I just go into another gear. Well, if you're doing too high of a speed, I'll do it in a minute. I'll actually make it do it for y'all in a second. You're going at too high of a speed where your RPMs need to be higher because of the speed you're going for that gear. You'll grind your gears because your synchros can't do the work for you. The synchros are not designed to take out 3,000 to 4,000 or even 2,000 RPM out of your shift for you. They're designed for the difference of drivers who shift slower or shift faster to get, maybe at a maximum 500 RPM out of your shift from where you need to be, just going from gear to gear. It's not designed to go from idle RPM to third gear at 2,500. It's not designed for that. And that's what really wears out synchros. For people that, don't know how to drive and, do stuff like that, or aren't utilizing the clutch properly, that's just the way it is. And then you get to the point where your synchro is worn out, and then every time you shift into that gear, it screeches, it grinds, because you done screwed it up. And then you have to replace the gear. Replace the synchro. But the thing is, a way to get around that, if it's not completely destroyed, is say, third gear is grinding. Well, instead of going straight into the gear, go whenever you're upshifting. You have to get a perfect rev match if your synchro's fucked. But if you're upshifting, like from second into third, just put it right there, right before you enter the gear, and then the synchro will catch up and it'll go in. But it just takes a little longer. You can't just throw it in there. I'm trying to get out of this traffic, and then I'll do that gear thing for you. But yeah, and so far we got two major things that rev matching helps keep from not wearing out. You got brakes, your synchros, and gears. Because once your synchro's going out, you're screwing up your gears every time you grind. Because that's your gears that are grinding. Because what's going on is the synchro isn't taking up that slack from the drive gear to the selection you're making. And the drive gear is either spinning faster or slower than the RPM of your motor for that speed in that gear. So it doesn't know what to do. Let's see, what's another thing? Oh yeah, another thing he mentioned was lurching. Car was lurching. And he asked me if that's too much gas or not enough. Well, it depends. Which way was your car lurching? If your car is lurching back, as if you're hitting the gas and accelerating, then that means you're giving it too much gas. If you're lurching forward, as if you hit the brakes whenever you rev match, then you're not giving it enough gas. You need to give it more gas to get into that gear properly. So, and the only way to overcome any of that is just practice. Practice, 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 practice. I didn't learn how to do this overnight. It takes a lot of practice. But the thing is, I'm real biased about the subject because it's what I do every day. That's how I daily drive is when I'm slowing down, I rev match. And that's just become my normal. That's become my second nature. And in my opinion, that's the proper way to drive because, it saves time, in my opinion, and it's safer because, say, something happens in that intersection or that turn and you need to get out of the way. Well, if you're in neutral, like say, someone's coming up on your ass, you see it in the mirror, and they're on their phone, they're not paying attention that you've slowed down or that you've stopped, almost, and you notice that they're about to rear-end you. Well, guess what? You can't do anything because you're in neutral. You've got to find a gear and get on the power But if you had rev matched, you'd already be in gear, and all you gotta do is hit the gas. So, and it's just like for downshifting to pass someone, just like with the synchros. That's what wears out synchros, is going from, say fourth, and I'm gonna pass this van. I'm not going to right now, but say I do, and I just put in the clutch and go into third, just smash it into third, and I don't rev match. That's what wears out synchros, because that's about 500 RPM to 600 RPM difference that I'm making the synchro do all at once, instead of just, just doing it for it. Another thing he mentioned, I'm about to have a straightaway here and I'll do this gear, but another thing he mentioned was going from fifth over to second. Well, that's a really big jump. I'm not even comfortable doing that myself. That's not really necessary, I would go to say, because it all depends on what speed you're at. If you're at 40 or 50, yeah, second gear is going to be great. Literally will be a great roll gear for 40 or 50. If you're at 70, I'd even say 65, 70, you want to stay away from second, be in third, because you're going to be so close to your rev limiter, it's not going to be worth anything. But what I would suggest doing from that is from fifth, rev match into fourth, and then go from fourth over to second. And in my comment, I was kind of vague. Well, hang on, I'll tell you about that in a minute. So say I'm in fourth, okay, now, and I go to put it in neutral and slow down. Well, now the car's at idle speed. I'm slowing down. I'm at about 45, and I just see that synchro said, "What's going on?" And it just let the selector go through onto the gear, and the gear wasn't caught up yet. Because that's the synchro's job, is to catch your drive gear up with your selector gear, so that you have that smooth transition. Well, that was, I don't know, 2,500 RPM, something like that. And it can't do all that work, and that's what wears out synchros. I mean, this car's 14 years old, so is the transmission. It hasn't been rebuilt. And, you say, oh, my car is brand new, I can do this, it's a newer car. Well, guess what? It's going to wear out, too. Brand new parts break every day. So you don't think your shit's going to wear out? Yeah, okay. But, alright, so I was talking about going from fifth to second. So in my comment, I was kind of vague about going into second. I said, yeah, you're going to need a higher RPM going to second. Well, duh, it's a lower gear. What I meant by that was, like, say you go from fourth to third. It takes around 500 RPM, I believe. I'll test it here in a second, I'll tell you. But if you go from third into second, the gear is so much shorter that it's probably going to be around 800 to 1,000 RPM total. So that's almost 500 RPM more than when you just went from third. And you're going from third to second, so you need more. So you're going to need a lot, or a whole lot, especially going from fifth. But you're going to need a lot going from fourth. You're going to need about 1,500 RPM. So, let's see, let's go to fourth. So I'm at 2,000 RPM right here. Now I'm going to go to third. Right at 500, okay? So I'm at 2,500. I'm going to go to second. Right at 1,000. I was actually a little bit under it. I put about 1,800 to it, but it needed 1,000. I put about 800 to it, but it needed 1,000. So it's 1,000 RPM going from third to second. It's 500 going from fourth to third. So from fourth and second, you're gonna need about 1,500. So if you're doing a roll, that's what I would do, because that's what I usually do. See, and that was a lot smoother. But now I gotta stop. So yeah, that's what I would do. Now, if you just wanna go out and set out on life on getting the fifth to second shift down, be my guest. It's just gonna take a lot of practice, and I don't want you tearing anything up, but go right ahead. And practice. That's how you learn, is by breaking shit, making mistakes, trial and error. It's wet out here. But that's how you learn. It's trial and error. That's how I learned this. I mean, I grinded a lot of gears in my Camaro trying to figure this shit out and getting myself comfortable to doing it on a daily basis. But I wanted to learn how to do it because I knew it would be a good thing to know, because I wanted to get into road racing. I wanted to get into autocross and more stuff, but then I found out how much of a help it is actually in daily driving, and it's a huge difference. But once you practice it enough, it literally just becomes like, it's just second nature. I don't even think about it. I just do it, you know? Like I said, I like to stay in gear. I don't like to sit at stop signs in neutral. I don't like to sit at lights in neutral unless it's just a really long light and I know it takes forever. But if I can help it, I'm going to be in gear so I can move. Another thing, when you go to Rev Match, don't try to force it. Don't try to race your clutch and your transmission against itself. I mean, especially when you're just daily driving. Now, if you're racing, you know, you just need to get your own thing down. But when you're just trying to practice, don't feel like you have to, you know, force everything. Just do it. It'll come to you. You'll find your rhythm, and you'll get to do it. You know, I didn't jam it into fourth. Just clicked it in. You just gotta practice. Practice. It's the only thing I can really reiterate to the maximum. That's how you learn this. Now, if you guys have any questions at all, you can always comment and ask or message me or anything. I'm not telling you that I'm just gonna tell you, oh, just go practice and don't bother me with it. I'm not saying that. But to figure it out for yourself and figure out what's comfortable for you, how you like to do it, and what works for you is practice. That's the biggest thing. Every car is different to every other car. Every driver is different to every other driver. I mean, you'll have some similarities, but when it comes down to every little thing you do, everything is different. You know, you're gonna have a different way of using your foot when you use the clutch. Some people keep their foot straight and just use their leg. Some people just use their ankle. I use my ankle for my gas, and I use a little bit of a mix with the clutch with my leg and my ankle. I don't just sit here and do this with the clutch. I actually push and then do like that with the clutch with my left leg. But with my right leg stays still, and I just use my ankle to pivot my throttle foot. I love driving in the rain. Traffic. But that, I mean, that's about all I can say, guys. I can't remember the guy's username that commented, but I'll try to find him and I'll send him a link to this. But hey, man, I hope this helps. I hope this answers your questions. If you have any more, feel free to ask, and I'm gonna try and get into making more videos, man, I am just not here today. I'm gonna be trying to make more videos quicker than just, you know, once a month or once every 3 months or whatever, like I have been, and everything. But we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. So, hope you guys liked the video. If y'all have any questions, just let me know. And see you next time.